Well, welcome viewers, Dr. Jason W. Morrison, Theologist, New South Wales, Australia, and you're joining me fishing this afternoon, and we're going to do James chapter 5, where he speaks of the rich oppressors and how God's not impressed by that. And he says, "Come now, you rich, weep and howl for your miseries." Now, where's that train going, viewers? To Sydney, that's right. Just let me get this in order. Howl for your miseries that are coming upon you. Now, James, remember, was a bit of a legalist. He couldn't help himself. And now he's saying to the rich that their miseries are coming upon them. Oh my gosh, James, really? Why? Why? Your riches are corrupted. This is probably because there's been extraordinary partiality shown in the church, in the group, and James is trying to put the fear of God in them. I don't think it's the best way of motivating people, but for James it is. And he says, your riches are corrupted, your garments are moth-eaten, your gold and silver are corroded, and their corrosion will be witnesses against you, and will eat your flesh like fire. Well, viewers, that is not Christian language to me. Why doesn't he explain what those people have done? What have they done? It must have been horrible, whatever they did. And so he goes on, you have heaped up for yourself treasure in the last days. Indeed, the wages of your labourers who mowed your fields, which you kept back by fraud, cry out. And the cries of the reapers have reached the ears of the Lord of Sabbath. Look, honestly, does that sound like Christian language to you, viewers? In all honesty, does that sound like something the Lord Jesus Christ would say? I don't think so. He goes on. You have lived on the earth in pleasure and luxury. You have fattened your hearts as in the day of slaughter. You have condemned, you have murdered the just. He does not. You have condemned, you have murdered the just. He does not resist you. God. Therefore be patient, brethren, until the coming of the Lord. So these must have been, I'm not sure if they're even in the church, this group, whether they're a part of the church or what they are, but they were definitely harming people, and James wasn't impressed with it at all. If they were rich people in the church, and he's warned the rich people in the church previous to this about showing partiality, and that it's not a good way of showing the law of liberty, which is to love your neighbour as yourself. I think he's moved into a whole different dimension of rich people, which by their influence and wealth were harming Christians. I certainly hope they weren't the rich Christians, and I'm sure you do as well. Anyway, nevertheless, he says, therefore be patient, brethren, until the coming of the Lord. See how the farmer waits for precious fruit, the precious fruit of the earth, waiting patiently for it until it receives the early and latter rain. So be patient in all the different seasons of life. That's what I believe he's saying. Be patient through the good times, but be patient in the bad times. And this is vital, because sometimes, like for instance, my wife and I, when we get counselling, the counsellor might ask how we're going. and we'll say we're going good, but we're going good cautiously. We don't want to get over cocky about where we're up to or where we're at, because if the wheels fall off, we won't be ready for it. Sometimes there's silly arguments over things you wouldn't even dream of. Look, I'm just being transparent. And that's what James is saying. Look, in good times and bad, be patient, be vigilant, just hang in there. Don't let things get to you. Don't let things get you down. Why is that looped? Let's just see if we can get this loop out. Oh no. Why is that there? Let's just see. Uh-oh, we got to... Oh, there it goes. No. There it goes there. Okay, just got to wind that in without making a mess of it. And there we go. So, patience is something that has to be variable. It has to be variable via circumstance. And these circumstances can be positive and they can be negative. But he just says it must have been hard for him, because he says hang in there until the coming of the Lord. And I would say, he says the coming of the Lord is at hand. I dare say he was talking about the rapture, the taking away, not the second advent at the crescendo of Armageddon. Now he goes on to say, and I hope this isn't boring, do not grumble against one another. This is a common thing in Christianity, and it's sad, but it just happens. People grumble and mumble and all the rest of it. Lest you be condemned. Behold, the judge is standing at the door. My brethren, take the prophets who spoke in the name of the Lord as an example of suffering and patience. Now, just listen for a minute. These ones were under the Old Testament, and this has to be recognized. They weren't not part of the New Covenant. So again, I'm not sure why James would suggest that we use them as an example, because they haven't got the same blessings as what we've got. They're nowhere near it. And suffering comes in many ways and in many forms. And I don't know, I can't say I'm suffering. I can't say I've even looked like suffering, to be honest. I think we've got a snag. That's alright, the kayak will go up to the snag. Where is it? Yeah, it's a snag, but we'll get it off, I'd say. Yeah, there it is. And I'll just show you the lure I'm using. This lure, it sparkles in the water and the tail flutters, and it attracts the fish to attack it if they're there and if they're hungry. So, suffering. Some of you might be suffering with illnesses. God forbid. God forbid. This human body, my goodness me, can't it play up? Oh, goodness. Look at my ankle, for instance. Terrible. Terrible. Well, 7 months of it. And another 11 months to go, apparently. So, it's relentless, viewers, the body and the suffering. I don't think we live in an age where we're going to suffer at this point in the Western world from people attacking us and stuff. In Russia you will, and well, if you're a Jehovah Witness, where countries have banned you, you will suffer because you're defying the government. And you're regarded as a cult, which you are. You're regarded in a cult in the Western world as well, but we're more forgiving than the Russians and that. They've had enough of the nuisance of the Jehovah Witnesses. But When we talk about suffering, I think of people in hospital. I think of people that have been shunned. These poor ones that have been shunned because of religion. Damn religion, you know. Getting it wrong and encouraging shunning and all this stuff that you're not supposed to. But what's your suffering? You can see I'm not suffering. I'm out here fishing. I'm living the dream. How could I be suffering? There's a big bit of ash just falling out of the sky from these bushfires, still blazing. The air's cleared because we've had a bit of a change and the wind's come through and cleared the air. Gee, it's a relief. Oh my goodness. But truly, what's your suffering? Is it age? Is it headaches? Is it migraines? Is it sore eyes? Is it respiratory issues? Is it female issues? Is it arthritis? Is it kidney problems? Have you got organ problems? I'm just naming them because right now, in the name of Jesus, I pray that you would be healed in some way, shape or form, at least in the mind, with some encouragement. I just pray in the name of the Lord. And James is going to say soon that if you anoint someone with oil and pray in the name of the Lord, and you get the elders to pray for you, you should be healed. Now, I'm only praying through the internet, but it might inspire something. It might trigger something in you to feel encouraged in your health. You might feel revitalized some way in your health. I don't know. I'm getting this tremendous urge lately. Yeah, Dr. Jason Morrison, theologist again. I just want to say thank you for watching the videos, and I hope you got plenty of self-rediscovery and freedom out of it. If you watched it on YouTube, please share or like, maybe even comment. If you watched it on Facebook, like, comment, share. But most of all, get out and live. This isn't a rehearsal. You've got a one-off life. Don't let your loyalty and your faithfulness blind you to the life that you should be experiencing. Till the next video, thank you for watching, and bye for now.